Hi everyone, welcome to TNT, Wednesday, the middle of the week, and it's the 9th of August. Good heavens, time's flying. Let's go to a comment from a viewer to start with today, from Silver Bear, who says, "Hey Tim, hope all is well. Just a sort of heads up regarding possible overhaul of the O and OA visas, and I say this in a very joking, jovial manner. If there's any visa agencies in Phuket who did not know you by name and TNT, you are most certainly well known to them now. I just went along to the agency I used to pick up my 1-year renewal of my retirement O visa and asked them if they'd heard that just possibly there may be significant changes coming in the future. Their reply was quite amusing. The reply was, 'Are you talking about the vlogger, Tim Newton?' Vlogger? Sounds so common. To which I replied, 'You had mentioned it.' The reply was that they have been absolutely flooded with panic calls about it, and even many customers coming in to see them in a state of huge stress. However, they were fine about it. They said their job is not to speculate with their clients, that their job was to help their clients with visas and any changes that are confirmed. They also said that people like you have your own jobs, in your case to report the news.' Well, it worries me a little bit that people haven't listened to what I've said. Nothing has been decided. I've just quoted the Deputy Police Commissioner, who was the former head of Thai immigration, about laws he was trying to, or was going to suggest to the new government that he might change in regards to retirement visas. He thought they were too easy to get and that the bar had been set too low. That was his opinion. I quoted him directly. In fact, I did that twice. So I'm not trying to stress people out, but at the end of the day, I'm here to try and keep you informed with what's going on. And if there is any murmurings or rumours, I'll report them and make sure that you understand that they are just that. Well, moving on to our first story now. And let's talk weather. ThaiPBSWorld.com, landslides posing danger to motorists in Tak and Nan. Looks like they've had to put a bit of a temporary bridge there. A lot of the road disappeared. Now, we're talking about where Tak and Nan are. You've got Bangkok down here, and then you've got Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai up the top there in far north Thailand, and then the provinces of Nan and Tak. Nan up there on the Lao border, and we've got Tak there on the Burmese border. So that's where these two provinces are that we're talking about. The story says the Highways Department has warned people travelling in two northern provinces of road obstructions caused by landslides and flash floods. And then it goes on to list a whole lot of different highways in Nan, and I'll leave those for you to pause and read if you want, if you're up there and you're affected. And then it says, meanwhile, up in Tak province, flooding has damaged two sections of Highway 105 and heavy rain is still falling in the area and officials are trying to facilitate the traffic. BangkokPost.com reports that heavy rain batters north-west with roads hit by landslides. Check out that photo. I think it's going to take a bit more than the pothole repairers to fix that one. The story says that heavy downpours have brought on landslides and flash floods, damaging roads in Nan and Mae Hong Son in the north and Tak and Kanchanaburi in the west, and continuous rains have pummeled Phua and Bok Klo districts in the Nan province. And again, listing some highways that have been directly affected. Meanwhile, in Tak, continuous rain has caused subsidence on roads and flash floods, damaging both Mae Sot district in Tak and the neighbouring Mayawadi township in Myanmar. I've been talking to some people who have been trying to help get supplies to people on the border areas and Burmese refugees, and the road conditions once you get off the main highways, well, it looks like some of them are damaged anyway, but once you get off the main roads, it's treacherous. So very, very wet up there. And whilst we haven't had a lot of rain down here in the south, looks like parts of the north, even the west, and I've had some of our listeners in the northeast areas saying it's been raining a lot up in those areas. And the Thai Meteorological Department forecast from Tuesday till Friday indicated that a moderate southern monsoon will lie across the Andaman Sea in the Gulf of Thailand. At the same time, a low-pressure trough will cover southern China and northern Vietnam, resulting in heavy rains across Thailand's north. I think this is what we call the monsoon. We go to ventusky.com and we can see what we expect this time of the year, which is that strong southwest monsoon sweeping up the moist air from the Indian Ocean, and it's sweeping through the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea as well. So this is what we expect this time of the year. And we'd like to thank our sponsors, by the way, 5 Star Marine, been a great supporter of the program. Now, if you do come to Phuket at the moment, you are going to be surprised by the unseasonably really nice weather. Well, most of the time anyway. Certainly, it's not what we usually expect during the wet season. Now, a day like today, I've got sunshine out there at the moment. You can go out to any of the islands off Phuket and Phang Nga Bay with 5 Star Marine. All sorts of beaches and places you can explore, and they'll take you on a VIP charter tour. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to contact Sean and the team. Going to our next story today, and a follow-up to that awful environmental disaster, the oil spill along the coast of Phang Nga and Phuket. The Bangkok Post reporting that race is on to clean up a large oil spill. And there's those volunteers walking along the beaches, combing the beaches, step by step, picking up the oil. There's no other way really to do it except by hand. And as in most of these cases, it's usually done by volunteers. Let's go to the story. Oh, hi Dina, nice to see you. 3 tons of oil from a slick suspected to have come from a ship have been removed from the Sirinanan National Park. That's basically the whole northwest coast of Phuket. And Koh Rashayai after being washed ashore. That's one of the big islands in Phang Nga Bay. And the spill is believed to have originated from neighbouring Phang Nga province last Wednesday before reaching Koh Rashayai in Phuket on Sunday. Now, I was up in Phang Nga, right on the coast, and actually went for a swim at the Tai Muang beach. No sign at that stage of any oil on the shore. Now, certainly the last couple of days it's been noted, as we showed you yesterday with Steve Ross, that's with an E, his footage along the beach at Tai Muang. But I didn't see anything on the weekend, so I'm not exactly sure what they're saying there. And a representative from the Marine Department and Resources said about 2 tonnes of oil have been collected at the Sirinanan National Park and 1 tonne at Koh Rashayai in Phuket. The environmental impact was also being assessed as the slick posed a threat to 4,000 rai of undersea coral extending from Phang Nga to Phuket. And she added authorities were removing as much oil as they could and as quickly as possible to prevent it from seeping into the sand and creating long-term hazards to shellfish. The department also warned tourists against swimming and venturing on contaminated beaches. They were asked to alert authorities to any oil they came across. And it says the test results showed the spill might have occurred about 90 nautical miles east of Phuket. And the Phuket Provincial Office had information that might prove useful in identifying the vessel responsible for the spill using ship movement data compiled by the Marine Department. And the story reports that there were in total 81 boats in the area of interest during the past 7 days when oil stains were found on beaches in a 95 nautical mile area on Phuket's west coast. That's about 170 odd kilometres. Not bad considering that Phuket north to south is only 48 kilometres. Clearly this has stretched a lot further from just Phuket's coast to other Andaman coastlines, including, well, at least 30 or 40 kilometres of Phang Nga coastline. It says 62 were cargo boats, 18 were tanker boats, and 1 was a large tug supply boat. And the department says within 2 days the oil will be completely cleaned up from local beaches. And again, thank you to the Marine Services Department. Thank you especially to all those volunteers that have grabbed gloves and plastic bags and walked up and down those beaches, kilometres of beaches to get rid of this goop. And there's literally only one way to get rid of it, and that is by hand. And it's not what you would call a pleasant job. So a very big thank you to all those volunteers that have rolled up their sleeves and done the hard work. Moving on to our next story now. This is from the National News Bureau of Thailand. and reporting that the Hua Hin airport expansion expected to boost tourism. And there's that rather dramatic shot. It's actually a file shot I've seen many times as the airport goes across the top of the Patkasam highway. So when you're heading down through Hua Hin and you don't go through the town, you do actually go under the runway. And the story says that the Department of Airports is embarking on an ambitious plan to elevate Hua Hin Airport to international status as part of its efforts to bolster regional tourism. And the airport, managed by the Department of Airports, recently completed the expansion of its runway, now measuring 2.1 kilometres in length, 60 metres in width, capable of accommodating Airbus A320 aircraft, and 3 parking bays have also been set up to help service planes. It says currently Thai Air Asia operates a 3 times a week one-stop service between Hua Hin and Chiang Mai, but the airport's vision extends beyond domestic routes, and they've got some improvements planned, including the expansion of the traffic tunnel on Patkasam Road, enhancement to the airport train tunnel, and the safety zones surrounding the airport. And going to the end of that paragraph, the estimated duration for completion following the signing of the contract is estimated at around 600 days, which is sort of a nice way of saying nearly 2 years. And according to the president of Aeronautical Radio of Thailand, the facility currently handles around 30,000 private jets annually. Well, it doesn't take too long on the calculator to work out that that's 82 private jets per day. I suspect that there's probably been at least 10 added to that 30,000 private jet number. And finally, it says the transformation of Hua Hin Airport into an international hub is expected to draw more tourists and further stimulate economic activity in the region, contributing significantly to its overall development. Look, there's no doubting that if they can get more planes into the area, that it will significantly boost the prospect of Hua Hin. It's probably a place a lot of people particularly like because it is a bit quieter than some of the touristy areas. But at the end of the day, it can't develop unless it has more flights. So that's an argument for the locals to have, but at least the government announcing some improvements to the Hua Hin airport. And Bangkok Post reporting the King's second son back in Thailand after 27 years. So we've got our own local mainstream media now reporting the arrival back in Thailand after 27 years of one of His Majesty the King's sons. And there he is, sitting in a tuk-tuk, posing happily, and it appears that his appearance has been very popular amongst the Thais. We'll get into some of that. And Vajrayana, the second son of His Majesty the King, is on a visit to Thailand after 27 years living abroad, to the delight of many Thai people. And from the airport, we showed that Twitter video yesterday of him arriving at Suvarnabhumi Airport on Sunday night. He went to a hotel in the heart of Bangkok. It was reported he would stay in the country for about 1 week. No announcement of his visit was made by the Royal Household Bureau. And Vajrayana is the second of the 4 sons of His Majesty the King and his former consort. Their younger sister is Her Royal Highness. I've never been able to pronounce her name, but she is a very prominent, well-known socialite and fashion designer, often has fashion and art exhibitions around the country. And the 4 brothers had their primary education in Thailand before moving to the United States. And he's a legal counsellor at a law firm in New York, where he's lived for 27 years. He's reportedly joined other Thai people in the US in activities showing Thai traditions and culture. And the trip by Vajrayana, 42, comes at a fraught time for the Thai royal family, with the monarch's eldest daughter in a coma since December. And then on X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, which I suppose we'll be reading that sort of terminology for the short term at least, the hashtag #SonOf10 returns to Thailand was mentioned almost 390,000 times. His father's formal title is King Rama X. And then Vajrayana is the second of 4 sons of King Vajiralongkorn's second wife, a former actress whom the then Crown Prince divorced in 1996. He has no formal royal title. He, his mother, 3 brothers and 1 sister were estranged after the 1996 divorce, in which his mother was publicly accused of adultery and then moved abroad. And the 71-year-old monarch has not named an official heir. Now, just in case you just missed what I said, the 71-year-old monarch has not named an official heir. Now, I just want you to understand the full implications of that last sentence, but we do welcome back the King's second eldest child, whilst of course understanding that his eldest child is now incapacitated, still in a hospital in Bangkok. Going to a bit of political news now, and understanding that Pheu Thai is trying to pull together a new coalition, but not everybody's happy about the situation. ThaiPBSWorld.com reporting taxi drivers protest against Pheu Thai Bumjai Thai coalition. Now, it's not just the taxi drivers, we should note, that are upset about it, but they're the focus of this story. And several groups of taxi drivers gathered in front of the Pheu Thai headquarters yesterday to express their disagreement over the Pheu Thai Bumjai Thai bid to form a government. And their leader told reporters that they want to declare that they will no longer support Pheu Thai because it's cooperating with a political party that's been in a government led by a coup leader. And on Monday, Pheu Thai held a joint press conference with Bumjai Thai declaring that they would be core in forming the government. Bumjai Thai, led by Anutin Charnvirakul, is a coalition party in the outgoing government led by General Prayut Chan-o-cha, who carried out the last coup in Thailand. The taxi leader said, "We came here not to object Pheu Thai's formation of a new government. We just want to express that we will no longer support the Pheu Thai party. Before we fought together with the red shirt people and Pheu Thai against Bumjai Thai. But today Pheu Thai is shaking hands with Bumjai Thai. We cannot accept it." They also burned red shirts and Pheu Thai membership cards to show they are leaving the Pheu Thai party. Now, as we've said before, Pheu Thai are somewhere between a rock and a very hard place. In the formation of this new government, they've currently got the reins and the authority to pull together a new government, but they're really not going to make anybody happy, whoever they pick. They've got to get the numbers, they've got to get a majority, and they're going to have to pull in some of their old foes. And that's not only going to anger Pheu Thai supporters, but of course it's completely disenfranchising all the people that voted for the Move Forward party. And with that, we wind up today's quick look at the news around Thailand. I've got one cat down here at my feet, another just sitting on the table there in front of me. They're staring at me saying, "We want to be fed," so I better go. Thank you again for dropping in today. I do appreciate your support. If you do get a moment to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. But that's Wednesday's main news from around Thailand on Wednesday, the 9th of August. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.